Good morning, children. How are you all? Children, let us continue with our chapter, Water Scarcity and Conservation of Water. Let us see few of the factors which are the reason for the scarcity of water on Earth. So let's get started. Okay, class, until our last class, we have seen that there are what is a fresh water, what is salty water. Even after having so much water, 70% of our earth is covered with water, correct? I keep saying that one. But still we do not have water, enough water to drink. Many of the cities, like when we getting into summer season, we all face lots of water problems. The water is not supplied and all. The water under the ground is dried up, the rivers are dried up. What are the reasons for that, right? And what are the consequences of it and all? Scarcity of water. Even we have seen that there will be water crisis. This means amount of water available for us survival is limited. That's why always whenever there is any of the event, we keep talking about saving water, saving trees. Why? Because these help us for our survival, and these are in a very limited amount. So hence, because of such things, we have scarcity of water, because the fresh water which is available on our land, which we can drink, is getting reduced day by day. And what are the reasons for that? Let us see about it. Factors causing shortage of water. The fresh water I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the salty water, ocean water. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fresh water. And we have studied that fresh water is a river water, stream water, pond water, lake water, underground water. Correct? One of the biggest uh, reason is the growing population. The number of people on the land is increasing, right? So the increase in population is one of the reason. Now how it is? See, with the increase in population, the demand for the water also increases, correct? The number of people increases, the more water you require for drinking, for cooking, for other stuffs works, correct? And nowadays for many constructions and all, everywhere water is required. So the more number of people, we need more water, correct? With the increase in population, the demand of the water also has increased. More people need more water. Yes, more people. If you have more people, you need more water. Imagine you just have one pot water, and if it's only one person, it is sufficient for him to survive for a few days. But imagine if you have more people in your family and it's only one pot of water, correct? How it will be? Like, it will be decreasing, right, for them. So they need more water. Will only one pot survive, make you to survive? No, you need more water for your survival. So for more people, we need more water. But the supply is not increasing. Yes, though we are increasing in population, we are increasing in number of human beings on the land, but the water is not increasing. The water is still the same, or rather it is reducing, but the population increasing. Hence, the amount of water available for each person is decreasing. As I said right now, imagine you are only one person in a room and you have a pot of water. So you can drink it for a few days, correct? You'll drink it. You cannot finish one pot in a day, obviously, right? You will take 3-4 days. But there is only one pot of water and there are 4 members in that room. So one pot gets finished in one day only. You need more water, correct? But here what is happening, children? The water is still one pot, but the people are increasing. Then it is really difficult to survive with only limited amount of water. So the water level is getting decreased. More people need more water, but the supply is not increasing, as I said. So hence again, the amount of water available for each person is decreasing, correct? Each person is decreasing. One pot you're surviving for a few days, but if there are more people, your one pot will get finished in one day itself. The next day you need extra water for yourself and you're not getting it. And what are the reasons? As we discussed, one is population, the increasing. If you have, if the population is not increasing much, yes, then the water will be sufficient for you people to survive. Now the next reason is deforestation. So rain and snow are the two main natural source of water. Yes. See, from where do we get water? Obviously, you will say river, pond, lake. But where do they get water from? Yes, the river gets water, or the lake gets water, the pond gets water from the rainfall only, right? The rainfall happens, and that particular area is filled with water, and we use it, correct? And in some places, it is due to snowfall. The snow falls on the ground, and when the temperature increases, that snow turns into the water, right? It gets converted into water when it gets melted. These are the two natural source of water, correct? So, however, when the amount of rainfall and snowfall is decreasing due to the change in climate, see, now as I said you, we get rainfall, we get water from natural resources. From where we get water is from rain and snow. But when there is a decrease in rainfall and snowfall, why is it? It is because of the climatical condition, because there is lots of heat in the climate. So what happens due to more heat in the climate? The water gets dried up. Yes, the rainwater, the snow gets dried up, and the water gets dried up and it gets evaporated. Yes, so the water which is available in the river, lake, pond, they get dried up, they get evaporated and get into the atmosphere. And what is it? The reason behind it? What's the reason behind it? It is these changes are caused by the activities what we human are doing. And what are we doing? We are cutting down the trees, we are burning the trees, right? So the main reason is deforestation, which means cutting off the trees in the forest. This is one of the major factor of reduction in the rainfall or snowfall. The more tree you have, the more rainfall. The less tree you have, the less rainfall you will receive, and the less rainfall you will have less water in the rivers, lakes and ponds. And if there is less water in the river, lakes, ponds, underground, you will have less water for your consumption, for so that you can consume, right? Trees are cut, forests are being cleared. What for? For building factories, for building houses. Yes, why are the forests being cut? So that we have more clean land, we have more clear lands. Yes, so that we can construct any company over there, we can put across some factories over there, or we cut the trees for construction of our houses, right? Some people even cut the trees for earning money by selling the wood of these trees, correct? Some people, see, few they cut for setting up of factories, construction of house. Some people, they cut the trees for their earning. They cut the tree, they take the wood and they sell it out. And what do they do from that wood? Yes, we make furnitures, we make doors, right? We use it for burning, we use it for coal. There are many usages of cutting down of the wood trees. Also for medicines too. For making of medicines, we need plants. So, but we cut the plants for making our medicines also. And at present, the number of trees being cut is more than the number of trees being planted. When I say this one, what do I mean is we are cutting trees in a speed. Okay, we are cutting drastically. We are cutting the trees very drastically in a large amount. But then the plantation of the tree is very less. Imagine, now let's take an example. Imagine you have cut 10 trees. So ethically, you at least have to plant 10 more trees, right? Compensation. Here, what is happening nowadays, though we are cutting 10 trees, but we are not able to plant even 5 trees, right? We are not planting enough. So at least if 10 trees are been cut, we have 10 more trees planted. So the things will be balanced. But at present, the number of trees which we are cutting is more than the number of trees which we are planting. So whenever we are planning for any cutting of a tree, we should make sure that we plant more than that. See, now when I took an example of cutting out down of 10 trees, right, children? So in that case, not just 10 trees of plantation, make sure one has to make sure that they at least plant double the amount of trees which they have cutted, so that there will be an equal balance. Because you are very well aware that to cut a tree is very easy and it's a matter of few hours or few minutes, but planting tree and planting the plants and making it to grow and it gets converted into a big tree, it takes years together, correct? So the plantation should be more than the deforestation. And the decrease in the number of trees is resulting in decrease in rainfall. I said you right, the more number of trees, you'll have more number of large amount of rainfall. The less tree you have, you will have less rainfall. You must be aware that in deserty areas, we don't get much rainfall. Why is it so? It is because there is there the greenery is not there. In desert we don't find much of plants, trees, correct? For that reason they don't receive the rainfall also. And strict action should be taken to prevent deforestation, right? We should protect our forest, we should protect our trees, not just forest trees but the trees in and around us. Whatever trees we are having, already we have less trees, we need to first do plantation, afforestation, do more planting of the trees, plus the trees which we are having, we should make sure that we do not cut it. We should take strict steps to prevent them. Yes, more and more trees need to be planted to maintain the balance in the nature. And if you find anybody who is cutting, you should always ask a question. Are you aware of what wrong you're doing, right? Now let's just see what are the benefits of having more trees and more forest. It nurtures the soil. The soil on the earth is having a good quality if it is having more number of trees, because the trees, they nurture the soil, it provides more nutrient, it increases the quality of the soil. Then it acts as a carbon sink, in the sense, you know, you all are very much aware that we need oxygen for our survival, right? And who provides us the oxygen? It is the trees provide us the oxygen, and it takes all the carbon dioxide which we release are being absorbed by the plants. And also the forests and the plants, they provide us with many healthy food, right? They provide us healthy food. We are dependent on our for our food survival also on the trees. If you start cutting the trees for making houses, what about our food? From where do we get it? Plus they are all naturally adequate and also host 80% of biodiversity on earth. Now when I say what is biodiversity, forest is very important because they are the home for many other creatures on the earth. Like you have birds, you have animals, you have insects. Where do they stay? They stay on these plants, on inside the forest. For that reason, we need to protect our forest. Now with this, what did we learn today? We have learned that scarcity of water, one reason is population. The more number of people, the amount of water is decreasing. Second thing, deforestation, cutting down of the trees. We are cutting down the trees for our benefits, but we are not planting enough trees to keep up the balance. Few more topics we will be learning in our next class. Until then, bye bye.